Jesus, boys, girls, in-betweeners, how you doing? Red Gamer back here with something new, something a little bit different. We've got some Street Fighter 5 gameplay up here, and this is going to be a little thing I'm going to call The Lab. And I want to do something different to the regular Salty Warrior things, because an interesting thing happened recently where I uploaded a bunch of matches that I'd recorded offline because I just wasn't really in the mood to stream at the time, but I wanted to get some footage all the same because I'd kind of run out of Street Fighter things to post on the channel. And it was a bunch of matches that I lost. And don't get me wrong, I was kind of tempted to not include those matches at all and just forget they actually existed, but I thought that, it's important that people see this because, I'm not amazing. I don't even think I'm really that good at this game, honestly. But, there are some people who do look to me for inspiration and whatnot, and I wanted to show those people that, yeah, I have bad days just like everyone else. It happens to all of us. And so as a result, I put those matches up, and a lot of people really like that. So what I'm doing here is something a little bit different. I've recorded these matches offline as well. I wasn't streaming them at the time either. And rather than do a live commentary of them as I'm playing the game, which you don't usually get that much of an insight into the way that I'm thinking about these matches, because obviously I have to concentrate on the match itself, and there's a lot going on, things like that. I've recorded them, and I'm talking over them now at the end of it, so we can basically get kind of not so much a commentary, but I wanted to give people kind of my thoughts, my processes, things like that on how I rationalize how to play the fight out, and hopefully you guys can either learn something from that, or in instances where I make some terrible mistakes, which we're going to be seeing pretty soon, we can learn from them collectively, because, like I said, I have bad days, and this was not a great day. This was last night, actually, and I'd been up since 6 o'clock, I'd been working all day, I'd been driving around town, I'd gone to the gym, I came home at like 8 o'clock at night, I decided to crank some matches out, and I was playing decently at the start, but the problem was that I was so tired at the end of the day, my concentration started to fall away very quickly. And as a result, we're going to see some bad decision-making pretty soon. But as you can see here, we are fighting a Ryu. And the thing about this Ryu is there's two kinds of Ryu in the world, in my opinion. There's the people who play Ryu properly, which is a character who's spacing heavy and works on trying to basically outpoke the opponent a lot of the time and try to just go for safe pressure. And then there's people like this Ryu, who play him incredibly aggressively, which is really against his strengths. And to be honest, like a Ryu who's really aggressive is, in my opinion, Juri's best matchup, because Ryu is already a good matchup for Juri in that she can pretty much do anything he can do, but better. And you put someone, playing an aggressive Ryu, so they're playing Ryu, but basically a Ryu who's unsafe and does not have, amazing damage output because he's not designed for that. He's not, a Ken, he's not a Karin, he's not, any of those sort of characters. He's not Kenny. So that should work even more in your favor. And we're going to see here that this guy is a very aggressive Ryu. We won the first game, but we won the first round and second game. I've got a chance to put this away, and I can tell you things are going to start going poorly pretty quickly. And I wanted to look at why. So we start the round off. We read the fireball at the start. He goes for a wake-up regular DP. It somehow trades. Probably just bad timing on my part. And you start to notice a pattern here. And that pattern is that this guy has... Well, first of all, he's never met a button that he did not want to press. That's the first thing. Second thing is that he has a setup for every knockdown. Every knockdown he has a mini setup for. And that, as you can see there, I lost that round pretty badly. That is where, throughout this matchup, because I had a chance to go through it a little bit last night before I did this recording here, is where you're going to see I take a lot of damage, is that he has a knockdown, and every time I get up, I either make the wrong read or I just press a button in general. And that was such a weird Tatsu there. I don't know what he was thinking. I genuinely don't. But he's got me in the corner here. We reverse to get out. And at the moment, I'm just trying to really... My general strategy with a really aggressive Ryu, normally, is to make them second-guess themselves. Is to make them do the dumb thing, punish their dumb stuff, and make them second-guess themselves so that they can't be aggressive anymore because they don't know whether their stupid shit's going to work or not. And that was disappointing there. That was the round right there, that combo, but my super did not come out. So I could have put this away. I could have put this set away, but right there, I did the super setup and the super did not come out, and he was able to steal around because I went for an empty jump low and it did not pay off. So that was kind of where that one went wrong, is that I had either a bad input, which I kind of doubt, or, the game dropped the input, which I'm kind of more inclined to believe, but that is what that is, and he walks away with round 2. So we're going to go into game 3 now. And this is where shit starts to get really messed up, because I'm a little bit frustrated, and that's a problem that I have as a player, is that it's not that hard to put me on tilt. It really isn't. There's basically the best way to put me on tilt is for me to do something which I know should work. There's that wake up mini stuff that I was talking about. It says I take too much damage on wake up. The best way to put me on tilt is to just have me do something. That's a good anti-air. Is to have me do something, and something that I know should work and it doesn't work. That will just frustrate me no end, and I'll immediately start doing really dumb shit after that. So there's a nice little shimmy there at the end there. We backdash away and go for an overhead. So again, we have a chance to put this away, but watch what happens here. This is what I'm talking about here. So we jump in, we get messed up. I go for the DP. It was bad read. He punishes. I'm going to do the dumb thing and do a DP again because no one ever expects that. Went for the anti-air, did not get a crush counter. He beats me out of the air, goes for a cross under, which somehow works. That's proof that I was tired when I did this. And he's just going for mad aggression, like playing Ryu way more aggressively than you should. He's going for random shit like half-screen Tatsus. He's got me frustrated to the point where I just did a combo off a V-trigger, which you should never do with Juri. I wasted fucking bar on that, and he beats me out of the air with a jump light. You think he'd go for the jump heavy, but he went for a jump light, and it worked. So we're into the last game now. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm still trying to get a read on this guy because his shit's working, and I don't really know why at the time. That was a decent parry. Too slow on the reflexes there. I missed whiff punishing his sweep. He's got me in the corner. Good anti-air again, at least. Get the tick throw. He does not go for the follow-up setup. Get a throw. So what's going to happen here? A little bit of panic there. I kind of mashed on some buttons there just to create some space. Block the fireball. Things are going pretty well. We've got a good life lead. How does this go wrong? We get swept. I'm confused as to how that works, but anyway. He does actually. I mean, I suppose actually is -2. I mean, parry would give him like full frames to do that. I guess that works. And all of a sudden he's got me in the corner, and things are just going fucking terribly. He goes for a super, which of course doesn't work because we have Ren Satsu on deck. But here's the thing: is that I have not fought a Ryu using V Trigger 2, and can someone confirm this? I mean, I'm too lazy to look it up. If someone wants to confirm what the startup is for that, because I went for a Mii there, and he parried the shit right out of that. So I was very upset after that game because I did not feel. I very rarely ever lose to rush down Ryus, and I was very upset that I let myself lose that one. But here we are fighting a friend of the channel. This man, this god of Ryu, this big bad Lev. He is someone that I've actually fought a lot before, and he is the polar opposite of the Ryu that we just saw before, and that he is a person who plays Ryu as a very spacing heavy character. The problem is that aside from Lev clearly never ever does any rank once he got to gold, is that he will play using parries too much. He will try to parry a lot of things like that. He will use a parry over an anti-air, which to me is a terrible idea because an anti-air is guaranteed damage, whereas a parry is, as you just saw there, we can just empty jump and throw. So it's a flaw in his game plan. It's somewhat of a critical flaw because you just start after a while baiting parries and it works. I dashed forward there and got nothing. I don't know why a button did not come out. And that was basically the way that I bullied him. But this is much more of a traditional Ryu matchup here. We go for the low. We get the V trigger. Again, I'm wasting meter on V trigger confirms. I don't know why. Okay, he pressed the button on wake up and he paid the price. So this is much more of a traditional Ryu matchup here, where we are just going to basically play a spacing game. We're going to take away his fireballs, which is what you should do. And against any projectile character, always take away their fireballs. Let them know that that this is going to be a footsie battle. And if they try to throw fireballs, there's only going to be one person throwing fireballs in this match, and it's not them. So we get our fireballs on deck. I'm trying to use Juri's low fireball a lot more. I haven't had that much chance because I haven't been able to play this game much since it came out with Season 3. But my god, the boost to distance that Juri got on her low fireball it's a game changer for her. It really is. It improves her footsies so much, because suddenly she has this spacing tool which just goes so much further than it used to. And it gives her more time to get another store behind it, so you can have this constant wall of stores going on that it was much harder to try and do before. There's that shimmying at the end. Shimmying overhead. Next level technology. So that's one thing I'm really trying to work on. It's not something that I've really perfected yet because there is still the inherent risk that they can jump in and catch you if they time it just right. So it's something that I'm working on, but it is very powerful. If you haven't started doing that with Juri yet, I strongly recommend you look into it. It will definitely be something we'll be coming up and covering in an upcoming video. So we take game 1 and we go into game 2, and what's he going to do to change his game plan? Not much, I can tell you. Like I said, this guy, he got to gold and he clearly just never played ranked again after that. Either that or every time I see him he's just above gold, and it's just bad luck on his part. So there's a bit of meaningless spacing going on here. Like you know, throwing out buttons at this kind of distance doesn't really help either person. There's a double dash that was accident. Again, we're kind of like, we're feeling each other out a little bit here. He's trying to jump in and catch me doing fireballs, but I'm ready for it. We go for the air grab instead. Get bumped out of the overhead. And now this is what I'm talking about here. Like, we've just bullied him a little bit in footsies there. We're bullying him again because Ryu just does not have the range that Juri has in footsies. It's that simple. They both have similar frame data, but her range on pretty much all of her normals is just better than his. So it makes the matchup very good in her favor, in my opinion, because, like I said, she just does what Ryu does, but better. It's kind of the reverse problem of Juri with Bison, is that he does the same thing she does, but better than her. So that's something, we'll talk about that when we get a Bison matchup. But in the meantime, we got our fireballs, we get our store, so we can't throw any more fireballs. We got a full stick of butter on deck as well for a super if we need it. That was a badly timed fireball, but he walks into it anyway, which is a little bit curious. Maybe it's autopilot, I don't know. There's some bad footsies. I should really work on my confirms. I tend to throw out light buttons in, just buttons that have no, that was an accidental word in Satsu. Buttons that have no real consequence, just to generate space when I'm panicking a little bit, whereas I should really be confirming more. So, oh, there's bad DP. He goes for his combo, but he drops it, so maybe he's having problems with his combos like I am with mine. A couple of stand mediums there, just push him out of the way. He goes for corner, but I'm not intimidated. I'm pressing buttons on wake up, and it's paying off, and this should be it. Yep, there's the super, and that should wrap things up for our good pal, Big Bad Lev. So that's kind of the Ryu matchup there, is that you can really, once you know what your ranges are, and once you know what his ranges are, you can just bully Ryu most of the time, and there's not a whole lot he can do about it if he wants to play that game. Like I said, it's a different matchup when you're playing against the aggressive Ryus, which, like I said, I played that one badly, but against most people who play Ryu like this, it's pretty simple to just show him that he's not a threat to you. And lastly, we have Guile. It says he's from China, but I don't think he is, because it was a pretty good connection, and typically connections from China are absolute dumpster fires. So I was a little bit nervous at the start of the game, but it quickly became apparent that his connection was pretty good. So we're going to play this one out. And we get our swords. Now what I want to try and do is, I really want to try and get better at punishing Guile's sonic booms with V-skill, because I've said in the past that Guile can get away with throwing his projectile and Juri can't do much about it, and that's not really true, because Guile has recovery on his projectile like everyone else, and it looks really good. It looks like he recovers really fast from his booms, but the truth is that compared to Ryu, Guile only recovers from his booms 5 frames faster than Ryu does. Ryu recovers in 28 frames, that was a YOLO. There's some V-trigger pressure. He recovers in 28 frames for Ryu, and sorry, for Guile. Guile recovers in 28 frames, and Ryu recovers in 33. So all you need is just a little bit to work on your reflexes a little bit more to be able to take those booms away from Guile, and that's what I really want to do for future Guile matchups. So this was the last match of the night. I was feeling really tired at this stage. Like my mental processes were not working too well, but we get ourselves a nice little confirm there. We work for the corner. Try to get a store, but he throws out a boom. And we get a terrible, terrible V-skill there. We get cornered, but fortunately we have the DP there, and he goes for his own revenge DP, and it does not work. Goes for a random sweep, but I pressed the wrong button to punish. I don't know what was going on there. Dashes in for a throw, and so all of a sudden we're in trouble in the corner, but we're using the V-trigger to fight our way out. He presses buttons, which is always a terrible mistake, and he gets greedy on his wake up as well. So take that round from him, but we're still into round 3 here, so let's see what happens. And we read the jump in. Like, jumping in on Guile is typically a pretty good bet, because Guile's always going to do 2 things at the start of the round. Guile's going to do 2 things at the start of the round. They're either going to throw a boom straight away, or they're going to crouch and wait for the jump in. If they crouch and wait for the jump in, you'll get a flash kick, which is not the end of the world. But if you read the boom, you get a free combo, which is really, it's worth the investment, it's worth the risk. It's a good risk-reward proposition, in my opinion. Get him out of the air there, but we're still eating booms, and he's trying to play neutral with us. That's another thing as well, is that I really like EX Ryu and Satsu in this matchup, and oh, this is going to sting a bit. That tickled. That hurt a lot. But EX Road and Satsu is so good for the Guile matchup because Guiles, all of them, every Guile on the face of the earth, thinks that once they got a boom out, they are safe to do whatever they want, and he blinked first. Did you see that? We were both crouching, and he cracked. He just threw out a random flash kick and paid the price. But they think they're safe as houses when they throw out the boom, and EX Road and Satsu, it'll go straight through any projectile that Guile throws, and it's -2 on blocks, so you're safe, and generally it'll push him back just far enough that you don't have to worry about a throw. So it's a very good option in the Guile matchup. It's really worth saving a bar just for Yodo and Satsu's. But we're into game 2 now, and he was ready for the jump in there, but I was also ready for him to be ready for it, so I didn't do it. Goes for a fake cross under, it actually works, gets me in the corner, he's throwing booms now, but I am not respecting the booms at all. We get a crush counter, and fight our way out of the corner. Back in the neutral, and you know what? I'm actually not sure what I'm doing here. Why did I try to corner myself again? That was a terrible, terrible choice. But once again, I'm not respecting the booms one bit. I'm pressing buttons afterwards, and either his timing is bad or the lag is on my side, because those damn meme kicks were punishing him every time he tried to go in after a boom, which is working well for me. Oh, and he reads the Ren Satsu, goes for a combo conversion, but oh my good god, I can't believe that we both screwed up our combos, and in this case, I was the person who blunked first, and he takes that round from me. So we're into the same situation we were before. That's another good option against Guile, is that once he's worried about you jumping in on him, and you think that he'll be ready to just wait for that flash kick, he'll just sit there and crouch and wait for you to jump in, just dash and throw. It's actually a pretty good option against Guiles. Again, you know, worse than is a flash kick, and in that case it's kind of a neutral trade really in terms of damage. But he is getting too cocky, his timing is not good enough for the minis, and I'm throwing out random buttons, which some of them seem to be connecting. He's getting his confirms, but again the Rodan Satsu is there to save us from his booms. And oh, he went for another random flash kick and it did not pay off. So once again, we are down to the wire in game 3, and I think the real thing I'm just trying to do here is just negate Guile's spacing. This is an aggressive Guile. Well, I mean aggressive in terms of what Guiles usually are. You don't normally see them trying to jump in. They'll generally parry a little bit less aggressively, but this one is fairly reasonably aggressive. So I'm just trying to negate his booms, trying to make him afraid to throw them at the moment. I think is really the game plan here. He goes for the flash kick, it whiffs, but so is my punish, so again we're kind of both being screwed over here. Once again though, I find myself back in the corner, which is bad news bears, but I've managed to get a couple of stalls. Let's see what I can do with them. Rodan Satsu once again is the hero that we need, not the one that we deserve. We go for the quick combo there. He goes for a wake up flash kick and just bets the farm, but that's okay because we still have half V-trigger left and are able to wrap up the round. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. That's my thought processes, that's my logic, that's kind of my approach to those matchups. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know, and I'll be sure to do more of them in future. But in the meantime, kisses up to belly rubs, and I'll see all you guys very soon.